Hi, everyone. We are live at 5. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Beth Stevens.
What's the date, Beth?
What's the date today?
Yeah, it's your responsibility.
It's the 30th.
Thank God Matt wrote a new. Well, it feels like Christmas because we have the best guests ever. That's what it feels like.
Oh, my God, you guys. Alice Ripley and Emily Skinner are here.
Yes, they need some applause.
We love these ladies. I want them here every day. Can't they just be on here every day?
I would be happy with that.
Can't we arrange that? Before we get to the news, can we just make a very important announcement?
Yes.
You know, there's a thing with new Broadway shows, right? You're not supposed to talk about, as press people, they give us press tickets to see a show when it's in previews before it opens, and you're not supposed to talk about it until opening night.
Unless you love it.
That's one thing I've learned. If you love it, they don't care. So I just want to say, Beth and I both saw Once on This Island last night.
And we loved it.
We love this show so much, and we love this production. It is stunning. Alice Ripley's excited about it. She's yelping,
It will
whistling.
touch your heart. It will make you cry.
Oh, my God.
It is very creative.
I'm just so excited to see what Michael Arden does with more of my favorite musicals. Because I actually
wonderful
loved his
director.
Merrily We Roll Along he did out in L.A.
Spring Awakening was
Spring
great.
Awakening. Anyway, this production is stunning, and it's such a cool experience. Circle in the Square. You're on Haiti. There's animals. Oh, spoiler. Anyway.
Wow.
And that score.
Gorgeous.
Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty were both there. We love them so much.
I know.
Haley Kilgore, our vlogger, big star. Anyway, just get your tickets now. Trust me. It
Lea
opens
Salonga's The Voice
opens
of an Angel.
Sunday.
Opens on Sunday.
It opens Sunday. So anyway, that's a sneak peek of a hot new show. But let's
Sneak
talk
peek
about
of our opinions of a hot
that's our opinions. Yes. I was actually watching Beth the whole time because I wanted to make sure she loved it
I was
too.
sitting in front of him.
Because it sucks if we don't love the same things, but we both loved it.
Thank God, or thank God, the gods. Hey, we have some news.
Oh God! Oh, Lea Salonga. I mean, we can go on and on. I mean,
And we have already, and now it's 5:05.
News.
Okay. So we have some news. So there's the world premiere of Terrence McNally's new play, Fire and Air. We already announced it. That's at CSC. I'm looking at you because you look so interested. We have some casting, which is really great. This is directed by John Doyle, who is the artistic director of CSC. Listen to this cast. J. Armstrong Johnson.
He's been here in drag.
Yes,
He was
has.
here on Halloween
I
in
think
full
he's not
drag.
gonna be
Look
in
up that
drag in this.
episode.
Thank you for your help. Marin Maisie, Douglas Hodge,
her.
Marsha Mason, John Glover, and James Kusati Moyer will headline this show. Okay, this is what it's about, because I know you're going to ask. Starts, by
Is
the
it about
way,
Russians?
January 17th. It's about the ballet russe.
Yeah.
See, I'm being French, but yeah. Russian ballet, Sergei Diaghilev, Emily Skinner taught me how to say that, and his relationship with Vaslav Nijinsky. I'm in. All those people.
The fact that it's called Fire and Air makes me think of
Fire and Ice?
my beloved Grand Hotel with the song Fire and Ice. That's coming back soon, too.
War Paint?
War Paint, Fire and Ice.
Or
Yeah, that's
War
just a
Paint.
different generation of Fire and Ice.
And
I knew what
yeah,
you
it's
meant.
true. Christmas Story is happening, right? That's
Yes,
happening out
live.
in LA, live. I'm actually going next week to the set.
Because you're fancy.
I don't know what we're doing on the set, but we're going to the set of A Christmas Story Live. I'm excited. They announced more casting. David Alan Grier will be playing Santa Claus. That's fun casting. Film star Ken Jeong will play, I thought this said played two roles, a Christmas tree and a restaurant owner, but it's a Christmas tree salesman and a restaurant owner. And a boy band I've never heard of called Pretty Much, all caps, one word. Apparently they're on the X Factor.
That's what we heard.
We
know nothing.
We
Oh, they're
get the
pretty.
facts right before we go live. They will play carolers. That's
Yeah.
clever. I mean,
Yeah.
they work them in. Anyway, this will be live on December 17th at 7 p.m. on Fox. This is, of course, the Pasek and Paul musical version of the beloved classic
Movie.
80s movie with, don't stick your tongue on the ice pole, right? Also, Anna Gasteyer's there, Maya Rudolph, Jane Krakowski, Chris Diamantopoulos, Matthew, he taught me how to say it. Matthew, he was on Never Have I Ever, and that's when he taught me how to say it. Matthew, he had great stories too, right? You should watch that video. Matthew Broderick and little Andy Walken as Ralphie. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fabulous. And we will be live tweeting.
Live
that
tweeting,
live
as we
show.
do.
As we do. As we all do, right?
I don't know about tweeting. I'm kind of over it
You're
for a
over
little
it.
bit.
I will take a break.
Anyway.
You got some time. The Phantom Tour has a new Phantom, and this is Quentin Oliver Lee. Emily Skinner knows him because he was an understudy in Prince of Broadway.
Yeah.
And he's apparently great. I just
Great.
heard
She's got
that.
thumbs up. Emily Skinner.
He was also on the national tour of Porgy and Bess and has many opera credits. He's joining on December 19th when the tour is in Minneapolis. So congratulations to him.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Harry Clark is a big hit. we all love Billy Crudup, and he's in a one-man show at the Vineyard Theater, and it's a hit, and it's extended. Have you seen it?
I loved it.
What?
It's really
Tell
great.
them what's about. Tell them what it's about.
It's about a shy Midwestern gentleman who leads a double life as a very outrageous, raunchy Cockney London guy.
Is it raunchy?
It's a solo show. It's not that raunchy. But, I mean, yeah, there's some stuff in it. It's good. It's really good.
It was supposed to run through December 3rd. Now it's playing through the 23rd. This is the third extension.
It's a good show.
That's what Billy Crudup brings audiences. David Cale wrote it, and Lee Silverman directs it.
Okay, well, we should say Break a Leg, Uma Thurman. She's making her Broadway
yeah.
debut
Happy
tonight in
opening.
The Parisian Woman by Beau Willimon, who created the Netflix House of Cards. Also, Josh
You interviewed
Lucas.
him about this play.
I did. I interviewed all of them, and they're great. Blair Brown, great cast.
Yeah.
Philippa Sue. Todrick Hall begins in Chicago tonight as Billy Flynn. He'll be in it through
He was
January
at What's in
14th.
Silent last night.
He was? Were
Yep.
you watching him, or were you watching me?
I was watching you. I couldn't see him. I saw him after.
I see. That was
was
the right
watching
answer.
you
That
and
was
your
the right
husband.
answer. Also on the site today, in the odds and ends column, your friend and mine, Jonathan Groff's show Mindhunter, has a second season
I
coming.
knew this was going to happen. When he was here for Show People, I was like, he's like, I don't know if it's going to get extended.
He knows. He knows.
Anyway,
he
it's
knows
back.
the rules. He
I'm
knows the rules.
excited.
We also have photos from opening night of Meteor Shower, which opened last night with Amy Schumer making her Broadway debut and Keegan-Michael Key making his Broadway debut. And we have new show clips for Once on This Island, which we love. We're just going to say it every time. And the new Haley Kilgore vlog, the second episode, where she shows you behind the scenes at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade,
Starting with waking up super early.
starting with waking up at the crack of dawn.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah, because we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with two of our favorite people on the planet, Alice Ripley and Emily Skinner.
These artists will come together for only one thing. It's not a concert. It's not an award show. It's SpongeBob the Musical on Broadway.
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. That jazz.
Ben Brantley of the New York Times calls the Book of Mormon the best musical of this century. This was my 4th time seeing it, and they still had me at hello. Winner of 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The Book of Mormon on Broadway.
Broadway's Come From Away is a Best Musical winner all across North America. This stirring and inspiring musical takes you to a place you never want to leave. Celebrate the best of humankind and the best in all of us at Come From Away, the remarkable true story of the small town.
Hey guys, we are back on Live at 5, and I am joined by not one amazing guest, but two of my favorites. Sometimes they're known as one. I mean, you know, I don't know. Alice Ripley and Emily Skinner, thank you for joining me. So good to see you always, especially
for
together.
having us.
I like you apart too, but I like you together. It's a thing. People like you together. It's a thing that it's just going to follow you throughout your life.
Apparently so. People seem to like us together.
And now you honor this love of people loving you together with a show, Unattached. Great title. Because, of course, you were in Sideshow, and they were attached. Get it? Velcro, right? Velcro?
Yes, sure.
Velcro.
Stop.
The character's not
Talking
Velcro.
about the
but
revival or us?
you-
Just saying.
but now you're unattached in your careers, but you come together and you do this really fun show. I love it at Feinstein's. /54 Below, and there is an album of it. Is it the same? You're back again this year.
We're back
How
again
many
this
times
year.
have you now been there doing
This is the third run, I believe.
Yeah, we did it originally almost 2 years ago, and they
Right.
asked us to come back 6 months later, and we did that, and then they asked us to when could you come back next, and it was like in a year and a half. So we're back for the third time. So
Yeah.
happy to be back. What we're doing is a little bit different than
Okay,
what's on the album.
Yeah, I'm sure it gets adjusted over time.
Yeah,
So-
we think it's improved. We think it's even more, I don't know.
It's definitely the best it's been so far.
Yeah, we think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we're always getting better. But we made some changes to
Uh-huh.
improve it. But the more you practice, the better you get.
Right. Well, you got to rehearse something. You can't know it all going in.
Exactly.
You got to keep yourself on your toes.
Gotta remind ourselves.
So when you sat down and you said, "Okay, we're doing this. We're doing the show again," was there anything that do you like think about it? Do you go like, "Oh, I really love to do that next time"? Is it based on maybe what you've done since the last? I mean, you just finished a great run, Prince of Broadway, fantastic run. You sang like 7 of my favorite showstoppers. I mean, how was that? Was that a fun? Was that a
Oh,
fun
it was
run? Getting to do all
blast.
that.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
And it was such a wonderful company of people to go to work with
Yeah.
every day. I, stand on stage with them and be in the wings with them. It was awed every single day by them. So
Uh-huh.
it was just months of bliss
Yeah.
in that regard.
Isn't it bliss?
Yeah.
Aren't we a pair?
They were odd, is that what you said? Oh, you were awed by them. Okay.
It was awed.
Paul, you point the mic.
Just trying to keep up.
Yeah.
Point the
Oh,
mics.
yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Project. Yeah, so are we doing anything you did from that in this show? What are we at? What is there? You want to give anyone a peek
Well,
of?
one of the nice things about doing the Prince show was that I got to do a lot of Sondheim
Yeah.
in that show, and it reminded me for the thousandth time how much I love Sondheim. And so we talked about it, and Alice has a Sondheim show that she does, a solo Sondheim show. And
Yeah.
we thought we should put more Sondheim in the show.
I do it. I actually become him.
Yes.
You actually
I
become
become
him.
Sondheim.
Yes.
Yeah, you
So,
put on a beard.
we'll talk
and-
about it, but Emily sings well. After you sing your song, I'm going to say, "Who needs therapy when there's Sondheim?"
Well,
Because you
true.
get it out of your system during that song.
Yeah, we do some Sondheim, and we do some other things. We did these albums in the 90s.
I
did
know
these-
you
these-
did. Are you kidding
That was
me?
like
These
decades
studio
ago.
albums in the 90s after Sideshow happened, and it's amazing
You
to
made
me.
me fall in love with that song. You know, it's a show I don't know is Shenandoah.
I missed the
Shenandoah,
odds completely.
sure, yeah.
I did that show.
What's that song you guys do from Shenandoah?
Beautiful pair, and we're
We
not
make a
talking
beautiful
about
pair. Yeah.
headlights. I mean, it's like friendship, hearts. Gotta give them something, you guys. This is so dry. Kidding. I'm joking. I'm a comedian now. It's my new thing. You can't keep up with me.
That's your new thing?
You can't keep up with me.
That's your new thing.
Always gonna throw something new at you guys. Yeah, Shenandoah.
Yeah, I love those albums. So you're saying that maybe that you like to remind
Yeah,
some of the
because
super fans
you know,
about
it's
some of the
such
stuff.
J.R.
It's
Armstrong Johnson
amazing. We
wasn't
come out of like stage doors, and inevitably people will like hand us this album,
Right.
one of those albums, and it's like that was 1,000 years ago, really?
Were they on
Wanna-
Baris
wanna hear us?
Sarabande Records? Am I saying it right? Am I making it more
Yes,
French? I don't know what
yeah.
it
A
is.
label that isn't doing that anymore. Yeah. So
No, it's not even called that anymore. And that guy owes us money.
Do you guys
I'm
have a
kidding.
favorite like
my good
track recording that you've made? Like, is there anything that you really love? You like, oh my god, that's like one of my
Duets, the
favorites.
first album.
That's a great
that
album.
was-
The cover
That was my mother's favorite album.
is it, oh really?
It was.
see,
Right.
I'm different than Alex because I like the
sorry.
live albums.
You
I like
oh
the
yeah.
2 live albums that we did just because they're live and it feels like they're
You like the
they're
live.
really raw. They're
Oh,
really raw, and I
interesting.
think you get a sense of who we really are
Uh huh.
from those albums, even more so than the perfect studio
Yeah.
albums.
Is it okay that I like the Perfect Studio
I
albums
would
too?
get totally
I like the
okay.
schmaltzy arrangements, right? That's what I like about
I
it.
think I just like both of you. I think that's what it is. I think I just can't get enough. I can't get enough. I honestly can't get enough.
Well,
Sweden sent some love.
heart.
Hi,
Excuse me?
Sweden.
Well,
Sweden,
heart,
it's
how
a
are
person
ya?
named Karen, I-N in
Karen
Sweden.
Johansson.
I love something like this.
Oh, I know
Paul
her.
Paul just said, years ago, I was in a cafe in the West Village, and Alice Ripley passed by, and I was so taken in by her amazing aura that I bowed to her.
That's
I
right.
do that daily.
And I said, get up, you
Does this
you
happen
surf.
to you often?
Make
Is this
eye
a thing?
contact. Well, in the village, I mean, I never leave home.
You're big in the village?
without at least a scrunchie to put my hair, because somebody might want a picture. But they always think I'm Emily, so. It's a double-edged sword.
Did you intentionally want to reunite for holiday time? Is this part of the thing, or do you like the holidays?
It
You
was
like to-
really when we could do it, and
Right.
this was when we could do it. You know,
Uh-huh.
we both have these sort of disparate careers, and it's trying to figure out like when
Yeah.
schedule-wise
Desperate.
we can both do
Yes,
it.
and Jennifer Ashley Tepper, who
know?
we adore.
Yeah.
Or whom, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
She invited us back, so maybe Feinstein's 54 Below wants us for the holiday season.
Well, yeah, it's like a big gift.
Maybe the audience does. I mean,
Maybe the audience does.
during that audience, we love them so much.
Yeah, it's a great room.
Well,
It sure
That's
is.
why I keep showing up, because I want to see everybody in the room.
Yeah, we like being in that room.
Yeah,
We like
it's
being in that
really,
room a
really
lot.
fun.
Is there anything that is your, like your go-to menu items? It's a great menu there. Good food.
I like those plantains with the guacamole.
I like that too. I like
French
that too.
fries. I mean, I refuse to give them up. In general, potatoes. So
I'm
if
always
you're
trying
gonna
to
have
get
French
people
fries,
from-
eat them at 54
Yeah,
Below.
it's true. It's true. I'm always trying to get
They're
people
amazing.
from out of town to come to 54 Below. Like when you come to New York, go to 54 Below.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than a Broadway show.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
The
Yeah.
entertainment's awesome.
And
the
they're
room
right
is
there.
like an
You can see
old-time
the razor
speakeasy.
stubble on their ankles.
That's right. You can look up our skirts. It's-
No, you can't. Not anymore. Never
and
again.
the food is great. Oh
The
my
food
God,
is
the
great.
food is so good.
It's a real New York
It's really
experience.
good.
It's like
It
a,
is.
it's a
It's a
current,
perfect
like cool
New
New
York
York thing.
experience.
Everything.
And you're really close
involved.
to Broadway stars, and
That's right.
and the plantains are fantastic.
And the
so
plantains are fantastic.
that's just a
And the
bonus.
staff is great.
Maddie said, Emily, I've seen you at the Muni a few times. Think you'll come back? With
I
like
sure
3
hope
question
so.
marks.
I sure hope so.
What have you done at the Muni? You've done some great stuff at the Muni.
I've been looking to do a number of things. I was there last year with Little Mermaid
Yep.
and had such a good time.
Yep.
Marsha Milgram directed this amazing production of Little Mermaid that had.
She was the original director.
I was
wasn't she?
Ursula, and the
Oh, she's Ragtime. She did Ragtime.
she did Ragtime. She
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
reinvented
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Ragtime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's so clever.
Yeah.
They had me as Ursula, and I was the top half of Ursula, and these 4 guys were attached to me as her tentacles.
What?
It was
You
the
sat
coolest
on
thing
top
I've
of 4
ever
guys for the
done.
whole show?
So, like Sideshow, it was like a tandem performance.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
It was like the 5 of us
With
were
4
one
fleshy
performance. It was
links.
so cool.
Amazing.
It would have been a big debate if it was Tony eligible. Like, would that have been a 5 nominees
it probably
combined together?
Yeah, because
How
it
would
was
that
a
have
tandem
worked?
Would sell tickets,
performance.
yes. Never make faces on camera, Alice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you did Follies there, didn't you?
I did Follies at the Rep. In St.
Oh, right.
Louis.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you've done a lot of great
Yeah.
stuff.
I've been lucky to go and work in St. Louis a lot. I sort of love that city.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're big on theater there. Good theater.
Irma said, Alice, this is something I think a lot of people would say. Alice, I loved you in Next to Normal. I mean, hello. I mean, Next to Normal, Tony-winning performance, kind of an epic performance. How does it feel like with the distance from it? You know, it is one of the great shows and great performances. Like, you know, it's going to go down in history as one of the best performances I've ever seen, honestly. When I first saw it in Washington, I remember seeing you backstage and being like, okay, I'm done. This is it. Alice has her moment. I love this. I love this. How is it? How's the distance now for you? I know you experience fans all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting that some people have never seen me do anything, including that show. But it still had an impact on their experience of life and their heart. That's pretty, no, I couldn't ask for more than that, really.
Yeah.
You know, that character tried to kill me, but I prevailed.
Is that, I mean, that's when you say things like that, that's a very big statement.
Well, you got to make light of it, but when I joined that project, I was in my late 40s, and I'd been doing this for 30 years. I thought I knew what I was getting into, but that's just a word to the wise of anybody that takes on that role, that, you know, you really don't know what it's going to bring.
You don't know. That's a
For me, it was worth everything because of the impact that it had on the community and the audience. And I think that after I came off the road with Next to Normal, I was happy to go and sleep for a few years. And it's nice to, you know, kind of be back in the circuit here. And it makes sense that we're doing this because the audience kind of demands it. They want to see us together, and we love them. And they've watched us over the decades.
Yeah.
You know, and they still love us.
Yeah. Well, we're all
love
grateful
them.
that you put yourself through that. Honestly, I mean, it was a beautiful show. And it did heal a lot of people, and it still does. It still does heal people. Do you have favorite
Thanks,
things
Paul.
you've seen each other do, not together? I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Mine is next to normal.
Yeah.
I kind of, it's done a lot, but that particular performance is so iconic.
Yeah.
That was an iconic performance, I think. And I still stand in awe of that, and in awe of the fact that you were able to do that on the long term 8 times a week. That's a lot of wringing yourself out.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
there's
know?
a point where you go, I gotta I mean, I'm not gonna pass the torch to somebody else at this point, because you get so far into it, and when it's a new piece, when you work on a new piece, at some point it becomes defined, and it's a relief, because you're thinking there won't be any surprises now. Whew. But you still have to then take on the football game, the Super Bowl game, the prize fight, the giving birth experience of doing a show like that 8 times a week.
Yeah.
And
But when
really
you do
giving
something
everything
8 times a week, it's like
on Wednesday matinees.
It starts
not
to
just
live in
Friday
you
nights.
all of the time.
Right.
Well,
Do you know
because we
what I
live in the
mean?
physical world, but we create something, even what you're doing right now here, in this ecosystem that lives, Stephen Spinella used to say that, in this ecosystem that lives above the stage and in the atmosphere. And without getting too heavy, we live in the physical world. This is our instrument. So the physical world takes a longer time to recombobulate, or whatever the word is. And so, the 8-show-week schedule, it's really even. Bruce Springsteen, when he was on Broadway, he only did 5 shows a week.
He's still here.
Okay, well, he's still there.
He's still here. He's here all year.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not afraid of making a faux pas. So you guys just go crazy. But you see the point that I'm making?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So like,
of course.
and it's not just that show. It's like any show that has a band on stage.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a different kind of show. It's not
Yeah.
your grandma's musical.
What have you loved seeing Emily do that had nothing to do with you?
Oh my gosh. Tree Grows in Brooklyn? That was a long time ago, right? Yeah,
That's
I mean, pretty much it is true that the stars in my eyes for Emily are real. We're like sisters. And so, like, every time I see Emily on stage, you kind of blow everybody away. I mean, with all due respect to everybody else that was in that cast.
Yeah.
When you were off stage, I was like, when does Emily come back on stage? But that's how it is every time I see you on stage.
Well, that's how it is when I see you. There
And
it is.
when we did company together at the Kennedy Center, that was really fun.
Yeah.
It was. I think that it was fun to do it together, and I love that score. So I'd love to do another show with them. So that'd be fun. Let's do it.
I'm into that. Let's see. Blah. There's a lot. There's a lot about Next to Normal. Sideshow. Have you done it? Yeah, they've done shows since Sideshow. I mean, you just mentioned Company. You were in The Dead.
The Dead.
We've done 3 shows together. Yeah, we did
Right.
Sideshow,
Yeah.
and then after that we did James Joyce's The Dead.
Yeah.
And Company.
And
We've done 3.
Unattached at Feinstein's 54 Below on December 1st, 2nd, and 6th at 7 p.m. Great holiday treat. Are there any Christmas carols in this show? Are there any
No,
Christmas?
there aren't. There aren't. That's for
Yeah.
our holiday show.
No,
at
yeah,
some point.
just keep it how it is. Don't,
Yeah, we can't even stretch any of it either. None of it. Mm-mm.
There's a lot. I'm sorry. There's a lot of questions I'm trying to go through. Brian wants to know: do either of them need a personal assistant? They are the bee's knees. Okay. That's good to know.
Does he work
that
for
people.
Brian?
Maddie said your Ursula costume was insane. All caps. Oh, here's a fun question. Kiana says, "Hi, I'm 16. I'm a huge fan. I got my first big audition tomorrow. Great timing that you're watching this.
Too.
Where, if I get it, I will be performing in front of 10,000 people."
Oh.
Wow.
Do you have any advice? Do you have any audition? What do you say when people come up to you at the stage door and they're aspiring performers and they want to have careers like the careers you've built? What is sort of like your go-to thing to tell people?
Well, if it's for 10,000 people,
And that sounds like a very specific question.
I would say make big gestures and large choices. That's
Okay.
what I would say. Don't
Okay.
be afraid to be big. Go big or go home.
For 10,000 people.
For
yeah.
10,000 people.
Yes.
Yeah, and make your movement economical. Don't do this.
I like when you do that.
One
I like when you
down.
just did that.
No, you'd be surprised how many people think that they can get away with that. But really,
I'm
they
doing
just
that
want to
tomorrow
hear
night
us-
just to see what you do.
Then we'll talk about this later. Since you're trying to corner me here. I would say, like, if it's tomorrow, Really focus starting right now on your audition. And don't do anything else. Don't read, don't watch television.
Alice was just
You go out
talking
with
to me
people
about her preparation
until your
that
auditions
she
Yeah.
does for
over.
auditions, and
Just stay focused. Like it
it
kind
puts
of
me to
feels
shame
like,
what she
no,
does.
it feels like you're
Really.
going
Really?
Yeah.
hitting your head against the wall because you kind of are. Just you just keep going over it. It's like the chorus line thing again. And just tell yourself, when it's over, I can eat. When my audition's over, I can pay my phone bill. When my audition's over, I can, take a bath. I like baths.
So you really have to commit to it like that.
I think that you got to stay focused and you got to try to think like, assume that you already are a success. Have a positive expectation and visualize being there, and remember that that you're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just stay focused on that. That's what works for me sometimes.
What's the key to keeping friendships in the business? I mean, because if you really think about where you were when you met and where you are now and your careers, I mean, it's so fascinating. You're totally different women, I'm assuming, than you were then. What is the key? And the business can be tough. There's like competition in the business, and it can be a tricky thing. So what is sort of the key to this?
Oh God.
Is that a very Oprah question?
It is a sort of an
Am I
Oprah
digging
question.
deep here?
Yeah, but it's a really good question. It's a really good question. Well, I mean, we bonded innately because of Sideshow. Do you know what I mean? And that's a bond that sort of is just that's a lifetime-y thing.
It's
you
with
know
the
what I mean?
audience too. Like
and it's with the audience.
They're part of
yeah.
it.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's
Agreed.
part of what gives us our strength right now, I think. But I always tell my students that you're not allowed to compete. There's no competition
Mm-hmm.
unless you compete with yourself.
It's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I think that
Absolutely
anybody who
right.
gets to a certain level of, wow, it's kind of like I kind of know what I'm doing now, understands that. Because it's not like we aren't tempted, but you just can't waste any time on it.
Yeah.
You could spend a decade and then decide, that's it, I'm never going to compete again. I did that for 10 years, and get it out of your system, I guess. Or you can just decide to listen to me, and I'll tell you, as I tell my students, you have to compete with yourself and be the best you can, the best you can be.
Yeah.
But it only helps to reach out to your friends, like Emily, or, I'm thinking of people that we know, like Kristen Chenoweth and Stephanie J. Block, these people who are friends. You might as well get out there and support them as much as you can, because don't you want them to do that to you? And it really is like we work together. Sometimes we're working together in the same show.
Right.
Sometimes we're in each other's audience, and it's always great to run into somebody. I ran into Melissa Erica one day in an airport. She actually purposely missed her plane so we could sit down and talk for a while.
Wow.
It was just great because we didn't really know each other that well before that moment. So I think that that's the best way to look at it. But it's not like it's not tough, because it can be a tough business, but you just have to want it more than anything. And then, everything else fades away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I couldn't wait to get on live at 5 today. I woke up at 5 today, thinking that that's when it was, 5 o'clock this morning. And I got here, and it's like nobody was here. So, I'm glad that I had to wait 12 hours. I'm doing the math in my head. But it was worth it. Yeah. Thanks.
You can stop by any time. Anytime you want, Alice.
We'll go live at 5 a.m.
We'll
for
go
sure.
You're
live
right.
at 5.
That's
and
the new one.
It's
That's
always
the new
5
one.
I'm
somewhere.
just joking, you guys. I'm just joking. It was just too heavy for me. Just getting a little too much.
Paul wants to know, do you remember opening night gifts for Sideshow? That was 20 years ago. That was the 20th anniversary just passed, correct?
Well,
Yeah.
we shared a dressing room.
We got a
That was kinda interesting.
bathrobe
Oh, you did share it, right? You did share it.
with Sideshow on it.
And we
We got a
thought
show jacket.
we thought we were in there.
Remember show jackets?
Remember show
But it
jackets?
wasn't a baseball jacket. It was different. It was
So
like
you got to have an episode about show jackets.
It was like
Those are
a-
no more.
I actually.
ultra suede, like members only. Not a
those
baseball
were like a
jacket.
thing.
They
Those
don't do
were
them anymore.
Well, I
No,
bought a show
I don't
jacket
know.
for Grand Hotel at the flea market because I love Grand Hotel, and I bought one of those old, and it says Jolie on the front. I don't know who Jolie is, but if you're out there, let me
Who is
know.
Jolie?
Wow.
It's not Angelina,
Alright.
I don't think. And I wondered what happened to show jackets. It was such a thing. Remember?
Yeah, it was
And back,
really
remember you used to walk around, you'd
It
see everyone with their
was.
jackets. You'd be like,
collage of
"Oh,
honor.
He's in the
She
Like I had a
Right,
Les Mis, that one
right.
that was denim Les Mis jacket, and
Uh-huh.
my Sunset Boulevard jacket was like this really weird caramel color.
Well, yeah, you get
you had to wear it anyway.
Well, you get the denim one for the summer, then you get that the heavier one for the winter. There's like the different seasons. I want to bring them back. Let's bring them back.
Show one was like
Should we
this
start a business? Should we bring it back?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Because
we're gonna bring back show
Broadway
jackets.
tickets are so economically priced these days. People want to spend their money on something.
That's true.
So come up with like some more swag that people can, just add a couple, 10% or whatever.
The other thing I always wanted was dolls, like Broadway dolls, and I wish I had a Daisy and Violet doll with Velcro. It'd be so perfect.
Yeah, they did the teddy bears. The
really?
Broadway bears.
Yeah.
Teddy bears. They did that was
Oh, the
a
teddy
big
bears.
thing.
Yeah, of course, the teddy
Broadway
bears.
bears.
That were
Yeah.
dressed
They don't
like
do that
the
anymore. Broadway
characters.
cares.
I want Barbies with Velcro between them.
You could do that.
You know what?
Use Velcro.
I could do that for like $6 probably.
It was all an illusion. Don't start this rumor mill. I love
It was
that
a great
expression.
illusion. It made me love you guys for the rest of my life, and I'm just always thrilled to see you. And I'm always thrilled to see you on stage.
gonna
You're both
sneeze
so
with happiness.
talented, and when you're together, it's like crazy. I mean, it's like must see. So everyone must see. You must go or get this album. There's a recording of the. It's very similar to the show you're doing, but I'm sure it's updated. But it's what? You're this Friday.
This Friday,
And
this
Saturday at 7
and then
p.m.
Next Wednesday.
And next Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And when, the two of you is great, but when there's plantain chips, even better.
Even better.
And guacamole, can't go wrong.
And French fries.
And French fries for Alice.
Just
Okay.
share them with somebody. You don't feel as guilty.
Share your fries with, they put people.
Wash your hands
You'll
first.
be close to another table. You can share the
Yeah.
fries. Just don't look at the razors. Don't look at the legs. Anyway, I adore you both. Hope you have a lovely holiday if I don't see you.
too.
And everyone, go see these two. You won't regret it. And we'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock, with more amazing guests.
Is it
maybe
Wantorek
two.
or Wantorek? Wantorek?
Wantorek.
What kind of name is that?
Polish.
Where's it come from? Okay.
Are we going to...